P Diddy left the U.S. after federal agents raided his home on March 25th, 2024. As soon as his jet was seen to have left U.S. airspace, discussions about where he was going, including non-extradition countries, began to be discussed. What the hell is extradition and what is a non-extradition country? Stick with me, folks, and I'll learn you. Hello, all you beautiful people. World's Okayest lawyer here. First, there may be folks who don't even know who P Diddy is. Well, he formerly went by Puff Daddy when him and Biggie Smalls were together, did their little rap thing. It was actually pretty dope music, if you ask me. If you shop at certain stores, Sean John is his clothing brand, so you may be wearing his clothes right now. His birth name is Sean Combs, and in his younger years, he was one of the many who have been with Jennifer Lopez. So now that that's out of the way, what is extradition? It merely is a formal process between two jurisdictions where they hand over a criminal. Okay, so, is that making sense yet? Yeah, okay, stick with me. This could be two state actors, for example, Texas and Oklahoma, the United States and Great Britain, or just about any other country you can think of. Keep in mind, legally, a state can mean a country in this instance. Confused yet? Maybe to give an aha moment. Israel used this process when they legally did it to bring former Nazis to justice. So if you haven't been watching TV or any sort of documentary, especially on like History Channel, a lot of Nazis fled to Argentina. And so sometimes those were legal extraditions, and then sometimes there were some covert actions, just skipping the whole legal process altogether. You have probably also seen this act in movies where a U.S. Marshal drives a caught fugitive from one state to another. You may have even been on an international flight where a U.S. Marshal had someone in custody on a public flight. So again, it is merely an exchange between two state actors where a fugitive is brought to a country where they are to stand charges for a crime, or they are an escaped convict. So, if they're already been convicted of the crime, they go to prison, somehow they escape, and then they flee to a country that has an extradition treaty. The U.S. Marshals can arrange for a scoop up with that country upon them being found and bring them right back. So what is a non-extradition country? This merely means that the country where the crime occurred does not have a treaty with the country that the fugitive is currently residing. So in this case, P. Diddy allegedly committed a federal crime in the United States and escaped prior to his arrest. As of 2024, there are 81 countries that do not have a treaty with the United States. Now, someone of P. Diddy's stature isn't just going to rush over to some of these countries on the list. For example, can you see P. Diddy living in Afghanistan, Belarus, China? What about Vatican City, which is where the Pope lives? All of these are just unlikely locations. Somebody like P. Diddy, he's going to want to go rip it up, and, drinking ceremonial wine just probably isn't in his purview of places that he wants to do that. So as of this recording, the latest news is that his private jet was spotted on the Caribbean island of Antigua. So where would someone like P. Diddy go? Kuwait or any of the other Gulf states, although they are very hot. I used to live in Kuwait for a hot second, but they offer luxury with high-end shopping at their malls. Plus, they have access to the Arabian Gulf. If you don't know what the Arabian Gulf is, that is generally what the Gulf state countries call what we used to call the Persian Gulf. So by having access to the Gulf, he can go out and park a yacht. Maldives is beautiful. I mean, crystal blue water and a legit paradise. I mean, hell yeah. An up-and-coming country is Vietnam, which is becoming a tourist location with their vast coastlines. And who doesn't love pho? I mean, I could eat pho every day. Ecuador and Venezuela also have no extradition treaty with the United States. Venezuela is currently stabilizing the country. If you haven't been paying attention, they had this whole political movement and whatnot that they're trying to get control of. Ecuador, though, is a very stable country, and it's also pretty close to where his plane was last spotted. So the fact that he has a small private jet, wherever he goes, will have to be someplace that he can get to by hopping around the globe. This is not a 737 or anything large that has a vast fuel supply. The pilots will have to also avoid airspace for countries that do offer extradition. Just in case you don't know, as I was taught in law school, a country owns all the air up to heaven and all the ground down to hell. And why this is important is because if they enter a country that has an extradition treaty, they could scramble their fighter jets in order to force them to land in a country that has an extradition. So this is going to be one hell of a developing story. And there may be more to follow when it comes to this, especially once we find out where he ends up being. Like what I had to say, please give me a like, follow, and subscribe on whatever social media you saw this posted. I cannot thank you enough for listening to what my world's okayest opinions are. Lastly, it costs $0 to be kind. It's the best money that you'll ever spend. Until next time, beautiful people. Peace.